Today, let's look at air conditioning on a TDX25 double deck and how it operates.
So this is the joystick to operate the mirrors, air conditioning, and the defrost in a TX. So the snowflake will take you to the menu for passengers. The defrost button right here will take you to the menu for the drivers. And then of course this is the mirrors. Now on the joystick itself, you can push down. Sometimes you can just scroll it left or right, or sometimes you have to actually push the joystick left, or you have to push it right. So using the defroster for air conditioning on the TX, you push the defrost button on the joystick and then you'll get this display. The first one is fans, so we're going to turn the fans up. You can see when we turn it to the right, the fans go up. If we turn it to the left, the fans go down. Same thing with temperature. We just got to push the joystick down. We get to temperature. So you notice that if we turn it to the left, temperature goes up. If we turn it to the right, temperature, the needle goes down. And then of course if it's warm outside, you know, over 75, 80 degrees, we want to put it in recirculate. So we want to go down one more slot, highlight the bus, and we push down on the joystick. And then we put the bus into recirculate. So now the bus is in recirculate. And you can see on the dash, the entire bus is in recirculate. So adjusting a temperature on a TX, of course we're going to use the joystick pad again. We're going to push the snowflake on the push button, and it takes us to this screen. Then we can adjust our temperature right to left, set our setting where we think we need it. And if it's not cool enough, just go ahead and turn it colder. One thing we don't want to do, we don't want to come up here and turn the fans up, because you can see when we turn our fans up, it takes it out of auto. And we want to leave it in auto because it could cause cooling problems. So we're going to go back down, put it back to auto, and then we're going to back up. We're going to adjust our temperature. Like I said, if it's not cold enough inside, just adjust it down a little bit.
So on a double deck, for the passenger settings, very similar. You push the snowflake button, and then you'll see the bus, and you see that there's 3 settings for temperature. The upper level, of course, in the upper front, and then we'll go downstairs in the lower level, and then you'll need to set all 3 temperatures.
So if your bus isn't cooling, one thing to check is, are all the vents opened? Don't ask the passengers to open the vents. You physically go through and check each vent at your next stop. Are they open? Another thing to check too is to see, is there anything blocking the fresh air here? If they put backpacks or blankets and that's blocking the fresh air, that will cause the coach not to cool. So if you have no heat, or we ask you to shut the water valve off on a TX, it is in this small compartment. You will need your Van Hool tool to open this compartment. So when opening or shutting the water valve, if you follow this pipe all the way down, you have to reach behind this preheater and you'll find the water valve. And it's a silver valve with the blue or red handle. You'll reach down and you'll either pull it up to shut it off, like I have it now, or you'll push it down to turn it on. Another location for a water valve on a TX is in the spare compartment. So in the spare compartment, we will have to take that panel straight ahead off. So depending on your year of your TX, some of them have a water valve that's right here. And if it's not there, it's over the transmission, pretty high up. It's right there, it's got the red handle. And that one is currently open. If you need to close a water valve on a double deck, you have to go to this door on the driver's side. So the water valve is right beside the air filter, right there. It's the blue or red valve. Right now it's in the closed position, or we can put it in the open position where it goes with the piping. Another position for the other water valve is on the passenger side, right behind the luggage bay, the small door. So the other water valve is right behind the booster pump, beside the preheater. And you can see that water valve right there with the blue handle, and it's currently opened. Another spot for the water valve is in the engine compartment on a double deck. If you stand right in front of the air conditioning compressor and then you look down, you'll see the water valve right there, and it's in the on position. So if your bus isn't cooling, one thing to check too is if the air conditioner clutch is kicked in. So we're actually talking about the center. That bolt, is that bolt spinning? If that bolt is not spinning, the compressor is not pumping. So putting our TX into override. So what we're going to do is we're going to push down on the joystick, getting our menu up. Now on our menu we can scroll left or right, but we're going to want the wrench. So we're going to highlight the wrench, we're going to push down again, and then we need the snowflake, and we're going to push down again, and the wrench one more time, and then we want the number 4. Now here's where we rock. We're looking for AC override, so you can rock it left or right. I usually go left, so I'm going to go left, and we are looking for cooling override. Right there it is, cooling override. So we see the X, the red X. So if we push down, now we get the green check. That means the bus is in air conditioning override. You can't adjust the temperature anymore. It will just cool as fast as it can go. You can't leave this screen after you do that. And then also every time you start the bus, you'll have to go back in and do these same steps to get to cooling override every time you shut the bus off. And that concludes the air conditioning heating system on a TDX25 double deck. If you have any questions, please reach out to us in the shop. Thank you.